Welcome back to CIO Insight. I'm your host, Natalie Teeger, here at the Pulse Network, and we have Eric Lundquist. How are you doing there, Eric?
Happy to be here, and happy to have Clint Boulton come on.
Yes!
Because if we're going to talk about Google, you got to have the best Google reporter around to do it, and no one can top Clint.
Oh, wow!
Let's call him Mr. Google.
Wow, Mr. Google. Where is Mr. Google? Is he there? He is. How you doing there, Clint?
That's high praise. Thank you very much, Eric, and hello, Natalie.
Hi, how are you?
But now you have to deliver. You know, if we're going to give you that type of promo, you've got to come through.
Middle of a vacation week, coming off a vacation, that's a lot of pressure, but I'll do the best.
Well, there seems to be a lot going on at Google. From what I've been reading of yours and everywhere else, it seems really, since Eric Schmidt sort of stepped aside and Larry Page stepped in a big way, he's been making a lot of changes. What would you say some of the top changes that he's made since he, took power?
Well, Larry Page really is focused on doing what he's called putting more wood behind fewer arrows. And basically what that is, he's trimming things that he believes are not very well used within Google, things that are not very cost effective because nobody is using them. Therefore, it's not delivering any returns on advertising value or search. And some of these products include the Slide software unit, which was closed last month, Google Health, Google Power Meter, and even Google Labs, which is a favorite among a lot of open source folks and coders and geeks and whatnot.
Well, yeah, and it seems, Google Labs, I guess, was one of my favorite hangouts because there was always sort of like neat little products, but to see that go away, I'd also want to mention that now Google Places, you had an interesting article on it, I think yesterday or the day before, about sort of a scam going on. Can you talk about that a little bit, Clint?
Sure. Well, Google Places is the company's local search product, and it basically connects with Google Maps and allows people to, do a search on Google Maps for businesses in their area and then find more information about them, such as address, phone numbers, direction, things of that nature, and customer reviews. Well, one of the options under the Report a Problem button allows people to let Google know whether a business is closed or not. All right, so people can click a link and say report a business closed, and Google sort of looks into it, and if there are enough clicks on that particular link, Google's algorithms will decide that okay, maybe this business is closed after all. Well, what it seems like it's happened is some folks have been sort of denigrating businesses in Google Places by listing them as closed. It looks like they keep clicking the link to indicate that the business is closed when it's actually still open.
Yeah, so Natalie, your restaurant, when you open your restaurant, everyone gets jealous and all the other people start clicking and saying that it's
dangerous.
closed.
That is very dangerous.
Is there any way around that, Clint? I mean, do you think that's just an issue that they're going to have to try to deal with, or?
Well, that's the challenge, Eric. That's the challenge when you do something with crowdsourcing, right? When you basically allow consumers to do the work for you, because Google can't have feet on the ground and people on the ground everywhere they are in every state and every little town to know which businesses are closed. So that's one of the, sort of the pitfalls of that particular approach. Google is working on a solution. They haven't revealed what that's going to be yet. I think what's more interesting is how is this happening? Is this coming from competitors of smaller businesses that say, hey, that guy, I don't want him to sell as much coffee or as many burgers as me, so I'm going to get him closed on Google? Is it irate former employees? We're not really sure, who it is that's doing this to get businesses sort of, closed virtually on Google when they're actually open.
Yeah, I mean, I see it a little bit like some of the anonymous product testers or anonymous commenters on websites where, if someone doesn't like a company, well, maybe they get their competitors, the competitors all pile in on someone and try to knock them down. On the other hand, I think it was a front page article in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago where there's organizations where for $5 they'll give you a 5-star rating for your company. It's become sort of a scam, either in terms of commenting that knocks someone down or commenting that gives someone a 5-star rating. do you see the idea of this anonymity disappearing, and more people have to sort of identify themselves when they go in and do this type of activity?
Well, that's an interesting question, Eric, because it recalls to mind the current sort of buzz over Google Plus, the social network, where real names are required. Google really wants people to be, have their legal real names be identifiable on the Google Plus social network by their legal common names or real names or whatever you want to call them, rather than allow all these pseudonyms. They really want to tether your identity to the website for a number of reasons. I think, social advertising being one of them. Others think that Google wants to sell you more things in addition to trading on your data for advertising. A lot of people think that maybe Google wants to be, a bank over time. So it needs to, get your identity as close, as possible.
Does that sort of, I don't know, you're on Google Plus, I'm on Google Plus.
Right.
They haven't quite, I haven't identified as myself anyways, because I figure everyone knows me. That's fine by me.
But you can't use all your aliases.
I can see definitely in some situations where people don't want their identity known, and I'm thinking, in terms of political environments, and
Yep.
there's many countries where you really don't want your identity known. Does this create a real sort of a split personality for a service like Google Plus?
I think it does, but Google is taking the hard line on this, and I don't anticipate that they're going to budge. I think their attitude is one of, don't use our social network if you're not going to use our real name. They've been very clear about that. They suspend accounts. They give you a warning if they suspect you're using a pseudonym, or some other fake name. They give you a warning. They give you 4 days to comply and to sort of swap it out for your real name, a legal name that they deem to be valid, or they suspend your account.
Wow. See, Natalie, I told you, no one knows more about Google than Clint.
I know. My God, he is Mr. Google, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Clint, for all that great information.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining us. And we will take another break, but when we come back, stay with us because we got some interesting events that could be around your area. So stay tuned.
The Pulse Network. It's social TV.